What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my forensics channel. Now, first of all, this personality disorder or mental illness or whatever you want to call it, manic depression, is a big field nowadays. A lot of people are getting into this and starting to investigate it more. And how does this lead to crimes? How is this going to be profiled in a forensics field? Well, a manic depressive person may have this high manic point. They have all the surge of energy, and they spend a lot of money. They may rob people. They may get into fights, altercations. They have this reckless need for stimulation sometimes, and very aggressive personality, which can lead to problems with other people. It could lead to property problem. It can trigger a lot of stuff. In some cases, those people can become extremely aggressive, and then they can get into depressive modes where they may use a lot of drugs. They may think about suicide and death, and not having trust in other people. But in the right conditions, see, what you see is nature versus nurture in a lot of upbringings and a lot of situations. A person with manic depression that self-medicates with violent behavior is more likely to become a grisly type of offender. And you'll see where the manic depression in some cases can create extremely predatory, perverse, extremely violent behaviors in certain individuals. And this is where, like, if a guy self-medicates his feelings with dangerous stuff, like some of these serial killers were, and some of these offenders, you will end up seeing somebody that has this very predatory, sadistic quality. So with manic depression, people tend to have moods like a seismic chart, can go up and down. Now, type 1 is faster fluctuations, and type 2 tends to be slower. And in type 2 manic depression, people tend to have mostly depressive modes and occasional manic modes. But when you take manic depression and combine it with drugs, then you can end up with a very dangerous situation where somebody can be extremely volatile and violent. And this is where you can have extremely brutal cases, or you can have people with manic depression that have very obsessive personalities, or they may have very argumentative and extremely, combative kind of personalities. They feel they are right and they feel they are in control when they're not. And you'll see a lot of cases where people may go off their medications and they may just fly off the handle and start having altercations with others. And so this is where, in a lot of these forensics fields, this is a field, like the mental illness part, has just been recently looked into more. And so the mental illness, in some cases, is a mitigating factor, in other cases, aggravating. Like if a guy with manic depression is dangerous and has violent tendencies, they usually have that, to push them into the psychopath category. Especially if you have an antisocial person that also has manic depression, they can have a more volatile, predatory quality. And so the manic depression actually can become a very, very volatile impact on an offender. And we're seeing a lot of that. So in like the justice system or the forensics world, you'll see people that are extremely perverse and they're extremely volatile and violent and reckless, and they can't sit down straight, and they can have these very aggressive qualities, or they may self-medicate with drugs like cocaine and very hard stuff, which can push them into a manic mode, even depressive. Or, even worse, they may have somebody that's so depressed and angry that even in a manic mode, they are not feeling good. But not feeling good is not the forensics definition. It's more they start to become extremely violent to other people, or they self-medicate by dangerous behaviors, like the way Dahmer self-medicated with dead animals and stuff, and thinking about the sick stuff. And you start to get manic depressive people in some cases where they will not take medication, they will truly embrace violence, and they're proud of it. And that's where the forensics field doesn't know what to do with some of these people. And they're truly dangerous individuals, and you'll see where there are a lot of serial killers that have manic depression in their personality, but they're also antisocial. They have other personality traits, but this manic depression can really create a lot of aggression and anger, and it can make a volatile situation. And this is one thing you can never just accurately describe in one video. There are lots of factors that play into it. And there's one of those conditions where, manic depressive person uses drugs, or they are in a distress situation or anything, they can completely become dangerous people. And it doesn't even have to be that. I mean, there's also some manic depressive people who truly bully their classmates and have this kind of antisocial quality about it. And this is where the manic depression can go under the radar, where somebody might hold, a reasonable position in society, yet they're more violent than a sociopath. So basically, this is my video, and thanks for watching.